How are you guys doing? It is Monday, August 17th, 2020. I hear in this quarantine. I'm James Sims, and for this bit on the Elite, I just kind of wanted to talk about how the basketball playoffs are getting started today. The playing game was already played. They've already played 8 games in this bubble, and for the Grizzlies and the Trailblazers, they both played 9. I'm going to say this straight up. I think athletes are enjoying playing in the bubble without fans for a bit. I mean, at first, yeah, it was really kind of weird, but it looks as though I don't know, it feels as though they're kind of enjoying the piece of not having to deal with people in their face all the time. I think athletes are enjoying the social distancing, well, at least for this summer, or at least until the next season starts and they decide to bring fans back. And I'm not saying it as a bad thing. It's not a knock. I mean, for instance, LeBron James he's been playing basketball for 17 years. This is the first time he's played in an empty gym against like an actual team. I think it's pretty wild. I think it's interesting. I don't think sports are necessarily better without fans, but it's quite a watching experience, not gonna lie. I mean, so far they've had soccer, they've had baseball, they've had basketball, and sports have been trying to cope with not having fans in their special ways. I mean, in baseball, for some games they'll try to make an animation that fakes fans actually being in the stadium, and I mean, yes, there isn't as much noise pumped into the stadium, which is, I mean, that takes away from a whole element of the game. But it looks like those guys just sitting there pitching and then just playing baseball, playing an actual full game without fans. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like it. It looks interesting. They look relaxed and they look like they can actually focus on the sport. I'm not saying that this is probably ever gonna happen again unless we get into another pandemic. But I think a lot of these players are going to look back, especially on this moment in time where they weren't playing in front of fans. I mean, even with basketball, I like how basketball did it. They put them all in a bubble, in Disney, by the way. And then I guess when fans did show up, they had them be virtual fans for a bit, and they still made it so everyone could watch it on TV. They made all the big games incredibly watchable. They're going to do it with sports. They're going to do it with the playoffs today. So I mean, I like the way they do it, and they're making it so it's even fun for celebrities. There's sometimes you'll see celebrities pop in and they'll be virtual fans. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of a fan. I don't know how football's gonna do it. Football hasn't started as of yet, and I will say that now with the playoffs, now that each game has meaning now. This is going to be a very, very intense playoffs, and I'm really curious to see how they do it in a bubble. I mean, soccer's already played, or Champions League has already played their quarterfinals of Champions League, or they've played it in Portugal in their own bubble by themselves. I'm not going to lie, I like how they did it. It's fun. You can actually see and hear what they're saying, how they're doing it, how they play. Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna go on for a bit. I'm just a fan. I'm not gonna make this a very, very long segment, but I personally, as a fan, from my perspective, it looks like the athletes are having fun and really enjoying themselves, and they can kind of enjoy the piece of not having fans in their face, in their ear all the time. Because at the end of the day, I mean, yes, sports are always gonna have fans, but I mean, I think a lot of those athletes, they signed up to be athletes. I mean, I'm not saying this. I mean, they sign. I mean, most of those guys just want to hoop. Most of the guys that are in the playoffs want to hoop. Not all of them want to have to deal with the media 24/7. Especially the great players that have a lot riding on this playoff series. So I mean, I think it's interesting that as of right now, and of course, it's in the best interest of the players to keep them in this bubble, to keep them away from fans. And they're now starting to allow their families in there. So it's I think the NBA is really making the most of this, and going into this playoffs, I really look forward to the playoffs being in the bubble. But with that said, I want to thank you once again for just hearing my opinion on the matter. Once again, this is The Elite. I'm James Sims. Thanks for hearing me out. Peace out.